said she first met the man she calls her stalker when she was just 12 or 13. Danny, which is the alias she uses when referencing him, was a teenager himself, just a few years older than she was at the time. And what she says started off innocently enough has gone on to have a lasting impact on her life for more than 15 years. Watch this.
I met Danny at camp when I was about 12 or 13, and he was a couple years older, 14 or 15. And he was a bit of an outcast, but so was I. So we made friends. We just did regular camp stuff together. He wasn't my only camp friend, but I gave him probably more time than other people did. He was a little clingy. I remember kind of wanting to hang out with my other camp friends, and he would kind of hold me back. I didn't know what that would turn into. After camp was over, we started talking on the phone after school, and that was nice. But then the calls just started becoming too much. And there would be multiple a night. After I hung up, he would call back. I told my parents, and they at first started screening them for me and would just tell him I wasn't home or I was busy. Most people kind of pick up on those social cues, but he didn't, and he kept calling. And so my parents got tired of screening his calls, so we blocked him on our home phone. And then in high school, Facebook came out, and that's when he started contacting me on there. As each social media company arose, he would follow me on the next one. It was every day, multiple times a day, 5-10 messages an hour. It was really excessive. I started to really think, no, he is a stalker. This is what he is. He's my stalker. When I was in college and he showed up outside of my school library that he had apparently staked out for days, I was shocked. I kind of did a double take because I hadn't seen him in years at that point. My stomach just sank and just tied up in knots. Even when somebody is not violent or physically threatening, there's always a sense of what will they do? What can they do?
Ronnie Jacobson first shared her story in the magazine Wired. She's also a regular contributor to CNBC.com, Modern Medicine. Welcome, Ronnie. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let me start with what you said in that piece, that you were noticing he was failing to pick up on social cues. Mm-hmm. That is so telling, because I do think that's it's a red flag on would-be stalkers. They don't pick up on the normal, like, I don't want anything to do with you signals.
Mm-hmm. Right. I had ghosted him, for lack of a better word, before that was a word, in between 2008 and 2012, we had zero communication. But the messages kept coming. And at first it was, every few months, checking in on birthdays. And then around October 2012, I believe, from August to September and October, the messages ramped up considerably, even though I had still not had any contact with him for, 4 years or so.
He kept escalating it. Mm-hmm. And when I read your story, it was 2006, he found you on Facebook. When Facebook was popping up then, and he friended you. And you accepted it, right? Even though by this point you already had reason for concern.
Yes and no. I had concern because in middle school, when we were talking, when we were camp friends, I had decided I didn't want to talk to him on the phone anymore. It's fine. I blocked his number, but it had been a while. We weren't in touch mostly much through high school, and later high school before college when Facebook first came out. But why I didn't see the harm.
You didn't see the harm, and yeah, I mean, I read that you didn't want to be rude.
Right. Yeah, I didn't want to appear mean.
And then later he showed up at your college library and wanted you to eat with him. And,
yes.
And you went along with it because
I didn't want to appear mean or rude or, but also I just, I felt for him.
But haven't we all been there? Yeah. Haven't you been there where somebody's making you feel uncomfortable? Mm-hmm. And because women are raised to be nice. and we don't want to be not nice. And we make these decisions. You are so not alone in that. You know, you're so not alone in that. And I think part of what we're doing today is trying to help women understand, like, when it's good to be rude. You know, like, sometimes it's okay to be rude.
Absolutely.
We're going to pick it up there and find out after the break what Ronnie says Danny did that finally compelled her to share her story publicly for the first time. So Ronnie Jacobson says she first met her cyber stalker at summer camp back in 2001. And she says he went on to stalk her for the next 15 years. So Ronnie, he escalated things, writing letters to your employer, spoofing you. What does that mean?
Yeah, spoofing, it's a pretty common thing, a pretty common tactic among stalkers. They just use a third-party app they can just steal your identity. Basically, they can get a replica of your email address or something that's very close to it, and your phone number. And so what he did that with me and started messaging my friends, pretending to be me. As far as I know, he didn't impersonate me to any of my employers, though he was sending letters, as you said.
Sending out, I mean, weird messages as you, where your friends were like, I don't think this is Ronnie, but who knows how many he sent that weren't caught. And what did he say to your employer?
So to my employers, he would bring up just things about my sexual history that he would have no way of knowing, but also talking about how I am incompetent, I should not be a journalist.
And the employers, was there enough in the letter that was off that they knew?
Most people were pretty tipped off that he was unstable. You know, I was very fortunate to have editors. You know, as I said, I'm a journalist, so you know, people are a little more enlightened.
Skeptical, right?
Yeah.
And skeptical, right? I mean, we wouldn't take everything at face value.
Exactly.
So did you go to the police?
Right, but many women don't have that, and I just read someone lost their job in a very similar situation to mine. So, you know, I'm one of the lucky ones in that respect. But I did go to the police. Yes, I went to the police in, I think about 2012 when he started spoofing me, because that was really the final straw. I could always explain to my employers because I said I was lucky, and they totally understood. But the
impersonation
once he had
is a
my
different
identity, it's completely different.
So you come out with the story in Wired, and was that the moment for you, the empowering moment we were talking about with Kathleen? Was that the, I'm taking control of this narrative?
Absolutely, because the thing is, with everything he's done, he has sent so many letters, missives out to employers, to the New York State Attorney General, FTC, FCC, FBI. And all of this, I've had to deal with this. It's just putting out fires. And every time, even when I have to talk to my editor, it still takes a chunk out of my day. It takes a chunk out of their day. It's wasting time. It's wasting everybody's money. And as a freelancer, I'm hitting my microphone, I think. But as a freelance journalist, that's very hard for me because that time is money.
Yeah, you don't want to spend your time. No one wants to spend their time. I know you didn't feel physically threatened, but the amount of energy you had to go through. And the truth is that even where there's no explicit threat, I mean, the stats show that in the majority of cases where a physical attack comes, there was no explicit threat beforehand. And women need to know that. They need to know that violence is not always preceded by a threat. Listen, we're going to pick it up on the opposite side of the break, but I want to tell you, if you want to read Ronnie's full article and account in Wired, we've posted it at today.com/Megyn Today. We're going to be right back with the former DA who prosecuted Meg Ryan's stalking case with some practical advice for all of you. Don't go away.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.